Step 1 is install the plate. You line up the holes, the pre-drilled holes. Install the screws. The next step is the most critical one. This is what a lot of people are getting wrong. So we're going to line up the 4 holes here so that this cable kicks out this direction. And you'll identify that because here are the pre-drilled holes that the handle will line up with. This is the right way to do it. This is the wrong way to do it. This is the wrong way to do it. Take our machine screws. Line up these holes. Get them all started before I tighten them down. Okay. The next thing I'm going to attach is the handle. So I'll get my 2 screws, line them up, the pre-drilled holes. And then we have to attach the cable clip. The reason that we do this is otherwise this can come out like that and it won't function properly. So this cable clip goes on. There's a pre-drilled hole right there. If you don't find one, for whatever reason, it's about 3 inches from here to there. And we have it this close so that it keeps it retained down. Okay. Next we have our base and the casters. The casters go into the base simply by lining up the stem and forcing it into position. If you have to use a hammer gently to tap these in, that's okay. But they should be able to just push in. Alright, now I have my casters installed. This is a desk model, a student desk. In this case, we'll install this. There's a friction ring on the student desk. There should be this friction ring here. So this is tapered in here and it's hollow. So this will line up like so. It'll slip down onto that. And at first we just kind of want to eyeball to make sure that the long ones are facing out towards the front of the desk and the short ones are facing the rear. This cup goes on next. That's going to lock it into place. And we're going to rotate the cup to align the threaded holes and install screws. This is the screw. Similar to the way you would install a wheel when you're changing a tire, when you're installing lug nuts, you're going to tighten one, go to the next. You want to make sure that you're pretty much aligned the way that you need to be. This would be the wrong way, for example, because it's off. So you want to line that up before you really start tightening anything down, because it's not going to move after you tighten this down. So line it up visually, Or if you want to get a straight edge and line that up with the back of this, that's okay. And we're going to start tightening everything down sequentially. So for example, I just tightened this one down. I brought this one down some more, and you'll see the other ones have some more to give. They're loose now because every time I tighten it, it's bringing them down. It's bringing this cup down, so the one that I tightened before it gets loose again until they're all tight. So that's why you have to go through this a couple of times. You have to repeat this a few times until you get the same amount of resistance on everything. You're hand tightening it, but you need the same amount of resistance on everything. Once you have the same amount of resistance, you know that you're tight. So notice I'm repeating this quite a few times to make sure that they're all tight. This is important. Otherwise these screws can work out. Okay, so at this point you have a completely assembled desk. It should be fully functional. If you have a basket, that's what these 4 dots are for. It's just saying generally where to put this. Based off of that, you kind of eyeball where you think it should go. And this is generally where the basket's going to be placed because this is a wire formed part, so it's got a little bit of tolerance to it. That's about where you want this. The reason it's curved like that is so it centers up against the column. If you want it to hug the column, that's fine. You just want to make sure you give yourself enough room to get this screw in, because depending on where the holes are for the handle, that screw might be kind of hard to get at. This cable should not interfere with the basket. If this cable is going up through here for any reason, you installed this wrong, you have to take it all apart, rotate that so that it comes out this way. Finally, check the functionality of the desk. The first time that you cycle it, it might be locked up just a little bit because it hasn't moved and it's been in transport. But once you've moved it the first time, you might have to, jolt it like you noticed that I did. It should lock in any position once you release the handle. There it is, completely installed. We verified it's functional. Good to go.